What's up, everybody? Welcome to Picksburgh. My name is Anthony, and you are joining us at the TGT office. Welcome to Pickin Apart the Hobby, the weekly show that I do with my guy, Gate City Paul, the good chef, Chef Marte. He's doing a little dance for us over there. It's free, by the way. That's just for your enjoyment.
I could teach you, but I'd have to charge.
But we also got Hot Hands Hoshik, who, as we speak, is scanning in some orders.
Grinding.
Yep. So,
well, they could always
just taking a little break
through a
here to do the show because we love you guys so much and like to stay connected with every single person in the hobby. And there's my guy Thrift Beast in the house. If you haven't checked out his YouTube channel, go check out Chris. That's been my guy for a while, but he's also one of our graders. So check out my guy Thrift Beast. Really cool dude. Yeah, so how you doing this week, Paul? Like, what's the latest and the greatest from the Queen? Well, I was going to say the Queen City, but you're outside of the Queen City.
I'm way north of the
You're
Queen
from the
City.
Queen State, though, right? Aren't you like the Queen State over there in North Carolina?
I am from the Gate City. We'll just leave it there.
He's the dancing queen.
Thus, the Gate City, Paul. Yes, that makes sense.
Right.
He is the Gate City.
Well, I'm happy to, of course, oblige everybody who faded me for the weekend.
Yeah.
I know a guy or two or three.
So that's about it. I've been hearing it from these two got, those guys.
There
we go. Been hearing it from them for the last few days, through texts and calls and all that good stuff. So
my guy Ryan's in the house. Pittsburgh's finest. Good to see you, my man.
What up?
Oh, there he is right there. My guy Tally. Good to see you, my man.
What's up, brother?
Always an honor and a privilege. I was literally just telling somebody today, I'm literally looking for a Hawaiian card show just because I want to go hang out with that dude. He's kind of the man. What can I say? Good to see you. Good to see you, Tally. Good to see you, Tally.
You know who? I was looking the other day. You know what state actually has no card shows? Louisiana.
Really?
I cannot find a card show in Louisiana.
I don't even like that state now. Just kidding.
Sounds like a whole bunch of lahers instead of Louisiana.
Well, I mean, you think guys like Joe Burrow coming out of that state, out of that college, you'd think they'd have some card shows, but
you think that they would? Yeah, I couldn't
find any card shows in Louisiana. Now I'm sure here in a minute somebody's going to post a link in the chat because they found one through a simple Google search. But I went to on Sports Cards. There's not a show in Louisiana.
They got the Pelicans, they got the Saints, they got LSU. It's surprising. Although, I mean, with the way Zion's plummeted, maybe it's better they don't have shows.
Right. Oh, Anthony's he's gonna fade me. I just found one.
No, I was actually looking sports card show in Louisiana. I just Googled it. Basically, it's basically talking about
there's cons and stuff like that, but I didn't see any shows.
That's a
Chuck Sports Cards of Louisiana. It's definitely a shop, but I could have sworn I saw something about a show. Here we go. Sports Cards, Collectibles, Pokemon, and Gaming Show.
Yeah, see, it's a con, though. I think that's the same one. There was some type of Comic Con and it just had a little, sports cards, too.
He's got some fire on his page, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, he's got some nice cards. Shout out to Chuck.
Attaboy,
doing
Chuck.
his thing in Louisiana. Keeping the hobby strong. My man, Chuck. Actually, I don't know Chuck, but I endorsed the fire that was on this page.
Yeah. Poor Chuck, guys.
I mean, if you have awesome cards, I'm probably going to be a pro you person. So that's just the way it works. I was like, oh, that's a Genesis Steph Curry. I like Chuck.
Saw a couple Burrow autos, stuff like that. I definitely don't hate that.
Yeah, I would imagine that they might just not advertise it well, too, because I know Pittsburgh is, like, very, very badly advertised. Like, a lot of the shows I literally would go to is literally because somebody would DM me, like, hey, man, are you going to the show and here on Saturday? It's like, I didn't even know there was one because, like, literally people don't advertise.
Right. Well, it's like my LCS. He had a trade night. Didn't know nothing about it until he posted on it the day before on Facebook. He's like, hey, hope to see you at the trade night. I've been to his shop 4 or 5 times within the last 2 months. Never saw anything about it.
That would be dope if Zion. Yeah, they definitely have a lot of Zion there, I would imagine. There's my mom. What is going on? Good
Best
to see
mom
you.
in the game.
Love you so much. Appreciate you tuning in again. He says, I guess with all the Texas shows, the annual Dallas show, they come this way. Yeah, that would make sense. I mean, I know a lot of people that travel for that Dallas show and make that kind of like a highlight of their calendar. After going to the Dallas show, I totally get it. You know what I mean? Like, there's a big difference between like, and Marty can attest because he's like the head of production for us. So when we go to a show like Dallas, it's drastically different than when we go to, you know, like a smaller regional show. And I don't want to name any one of them because they're very important too, because let's be honest, the best thing for us is as a new company or a newer company at this point, getting our face in front of people and letting them know who we are, because I mean, that's just the most valuable resource that we can have right now.
These are three handsome faces to get in front of people too. Let's be honest.
That's what I'm saying. If there were women at card shows, we might be doing all right. But according to my YouTube analytics, only like 0.07% of you guys like sports cards that are women. And one of them is my mom watching. So that's kind of awesome. So Bishop's in the house. Good to see you, bro. TGT, you're going to be in ATL. We are planning to come to an ATL show. I don't know that we'll make the next one, but we're definitely planning ATL sometime soon.
Yeah, the Atlanta show's the same weekend as the Virginia Beach show.
Yeah.
Which is now the same weekend as the Raleigh show. So that's awesome.
Oh, wow. That show got pushed back again?
Yep. Well, I don't know if it got pushed back. I think he just put it on. I think he just added it to the calendar.
Yeah. So out of the places you've been for shows, Paul, like, because you've been to a few different states now for shows, like what was some of the best places you've been and like why?
Well, I mean, the show that I just recently went to down in Mooresville, it was really cool because like it was packed. Don't get me wrong, it was really packed, but there was just a lot of, I don't know, just the variety from modern to vintage that was there. And then only that, there was the styles of sellers there. There was people who had completely just $1 boxes, and then there was guys who had just completely high end, down to people who just had, only graded or, some non-graded stuff. It was just a nice plethora and a nice vast kind of cross stream, because there's some card shows like the one I went with you to in Pittsburgh, not at the mall, but the other one, it just seemed like that was very, very like vintage focused. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like there was just a lot of vintage stuff. And if you're not into vintage stuff, me, I just like going to card shows. But if you're there to like look for like a lot more modern stuff, like, and you're paying, $10, $15 to get into the show, and you're just inundated with like vintage stuff, may not be for you. But I mean, that's what I like. At card shows that have, they don't pigeonhole of just one type of, seller or something like that. So, and most of my shows are just kind of here locally in the, the Raleigh, Charlotte area, and then the couple that I've been to with you guys in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and honestly, dude, like you're gonna be like the king of that town soon, man. You're the man in NC.
There's gonna be a ceremony and everything.
Yes.
Throne, crown, scepter.
Yes.
Well, you rock our scepter.
That would be amazing.
I'd be a fan.
Like, you would look really good with a scepter, I think.
Remember Booker T after his King of the Ring?
Oh my God.
That's where I'm going.
And every match he'd be like, Booga! Yes. I love that you have something scepter-esque nearby.
It's a shot glass of the leg from A Christmas Story.
Yeah, that definitely didn't look like
I was going to say that totally looked like a waiter from far back. I was going to say, is that like an ice cube mold for one or something like that?
No, it's the leg lamp, the fragile lamp from the Christmas Story, my favorite movie.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I just dropped a clothespin on the floor, and so I'm going to find it with my foot later. That's awesome.
So Tally says you got to go to them little shows they have at the mall, always full of women, which I guess that's true. That is the cheat code because the one at the mall, like near where I lived in Pittsburgh, at least, was like literally right outside of the Victoria's Secret. And like literally you would have a bunch of kids and old perverts just lined up checking out all the women. I was one of those perverts. We got my guy in the house, Dave, all the way from Australia. That's another place I need to go to a card show. Good morning, my friend. Always a pleasure to see you. We got my man Jonathan Dortch in the house. Good to see you, brother. Chris said a wiener chess set. Now that does sound majestic. Yes, Callie says Paul, king of the fade. We totally need to get him a shirt made now. And then all of his subjects will wear the hashtag fade Paul shirt.
Which includes you guys.
Yes, absolutely.
This is just good content right here.
Oh,
This is good quality. Yeah. This is what all the people are really clamoring for nowadays.
Clamoring indeed.
Grown men with scepters. Ryan says first request is always VS table available this time. VS.
Victoria's Secret.
Oh yeah, wouldn't that be nice? Yeah, because Ryan sets up at those shows out at Westmoreland.
Respect.
Heck yeah.
He is a man with a plan.
We got Sharon in the house. Good to see you, Sharon. I really appreciate you joining us today. Yeah, it's crazy though, man. It's always right by that Victoria's Secret, which I guess the Victoria doesn't really have a secret after all them dudes are hanging there for so long.
It's not well concealed.
No, it's definitely not well concealed. Victoria's not wearing enough. I'm concerned. I should talk to her father.
All right, fellas.
So many secrets.
So inquiring minds want to know, how is the atmosphere in LA after the big win?
Dude, it's awesome. The people that are actually Rams fans are ecstatic. Like there actually are, like, you wouldn't think of it because a lot of the publicity that comes out is that, like, you know, there's not very many like homers here, but the people that are passionate about the Rams are really passionate about them. They won't come out in droves like Steelers or Dallas or Packer fans or even Niner fans, like, because the Niner gang is representing here today, I see. But there's definitely a pretty passionate fan base behind them.
Well, if they're locals and they drive around here, I want them all to know you drive like crap. Every one of you.
Yes.
Well, it's LA. I when I was a kid and I lived there, everybody drove like crap.
Dude, if you drive in LA, me and Marty personally dislike you. But when you're not driving, we're cool.
Oh,
but when
100%.
you get in your car and you turn on the engine and you start to move, we automatically hate you.
Yeah. I mean, as long as we're not on the road, it's one thing, but
But then when we get off the road, we like you again. Like, we're totally cool. Like, nothing ever happened. But when you're in your car, we will fight you. I've never met so many aggressive people in my whole life, man. Like, it's insane. Like, I have people, like, I'll be talking, like, on the phone. Like, I just get in my car and I'll be on the phone with my mom, and literally, like, I'm not even pulling out yet, and people are beeping at me at the garage. It's wild, dude. Like, it's insane. Everywhere I go, there's just somebody that wants to, like, either kill me with their vehicle or cut me off or just get in front of me in some way, shape, or form. Like,
And
even
you guys live
merging,
in Pittsburgh.
dude, even merging to get into the other lane here. If somebody sees, oh, his turn signal went on, they're gonna hurry up and go faster.
Oh yeah,
So
It's a block. They block you on purpose.
Like, why though? Like, we're both going to the same place and there's traffic jam, like, literally feet in front of us. Why cut me off? We're literally getting there at the same time. It's the weirdest thing ever. But yes,
You know what the trick is, right? Have you learned the trick? Don't use your turn signal. Just
well, I mean, I guess a lot of them don't either.
we're okay with putting everybody else on the road at risk. That's fine.
I mean, that seems to be the going motto. By the way, motorcycle drivers, oh my God, I didn't know it was legal until I moved here. It's probably not legal, by the way.
to lane
But-
split.
Yes,
Yeah,
like,
I think it's legal there.
well, why? Like,
Yeah,
they're
I think
barely
it's I think it's legal in California to lane split.
It's so crazy, man.
Everything's legal in California. I'm convinced.
That's true. Everything is legal here. It's insane. But
I'm surprised they still have to wear helmets.
yeah. You know what's crazy? You can literally lane split and like put yourself and other people at risk, but you can't walk somewhere without a mask. like literally, I'm gonna put you in bodily harm right now because I'm too much of an idiot to wait like 3 seconds for this light to change.
Yeah, we don't so much care if you die on the road, but don't get the RONUS.
Yes.
Which, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't wish that on anyone, but
no.
I'm pretty sure I'm more likely to die on my way into work every day.
Oh my god! Like my mom was here and she was like, literally like, "Wow, this is scary driving." Like, we are in a much bigger city, but like the level of aggression is like something I've never felt in my life driving anywhere. You know what I mean? And I've like driven in New York City, although they're pretty crazy in New York too, though.
Yeah, I've driven in New York City. It's
Speaking of being crazy in New York City, look who jumps in the house. My guy, Matthew. Jet's crazy. Good to see you, brother.
What's up?
Always a pleasure. So we were just talking about how much of, to use Pittsburgh terminology, jagoff LA drivers are and how they've almost killed us.
They are the Ty Cobb of driving.
They are really the Ty Cobb of driving. Yes, we should definitely copyright that. Like,
I love that.
For the people of LA, like we are the Ty Cobb of driving.
Don't you guys have a local LAN like right next to you? Is he like getting his feelings hurt?
Actually,
he's running around, but if you've ever been in a car with him, you're probably where you.
He's one of them. He is totally one of them. And
I can believe it.
Yeah, see, he says New York is pretty bad. I can imagine.
Yeah.
I've driven to New York before, but not to the extent I have to drive here. And oh my god, like literally, I want just like.
Now, do you have your van there or a different car?
Yes, I have my van.
Did you drive your van there?
No, I had it moved with like a truck, like one of them things that carries cars.
Yeah.
DJ's in the house and he wants to know, has Chef Marte pulled any bangers as of late?
You know what? Honestly, I haven't ripped that much wax recently. I know.
Oh, he's burning up. This might be the Rona, folks.
No, I've been a little bit more eBay crazy lately because if you would see, the collection's just way too big. I don't have room. So until I can kind of thin that out, I'm going to pick and choose my moves a little bit more. But I have some pretty cool stuff to show you guys today.
Yeah, I got some pretty cool stuff.
Because I'm a delinquent. You should have seen our mail day yesterday.
Oh, my God, guys. So me and the chef are going to get our mail yesterday out of my mailbox at home, and I have like one of them like drop slots. It's like this big, but then it goes back like really far, and literally I have my whole arm into the back, basically getting stuck, like scooping piles of cards out. And I'm like, Marty, are you the degenerate or am I the degenerate? And then we got up there, and literally it was split down the middle. Like we were both the degenerate,
exactly down the middle. It was awesome.
Like to the T. Like we had both ordered the exact same amount of cards. And then literally we both sat there and like just cracked them all open. It was majestic. And then you ripped some wax, actually. You ripped some Chronicles.
Yeah, that was just retail. I don't consider that true wax. It's something to hold the addiction over.
Yes, sir. I will definitely check that right after, my guy. DJ says, have we hit any of those LA shows?
Saturday.
There's one literally right in Hollywood. So me and the good chef are going. Trying to drag Hot Hands out, but you know, he's a little bit of a party pooper sometimes on the weekend on account of, you know, daddy duty.
I remember those days. Mine are older now. Not to worry about that as much.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
But yeah, this Saturday we're going to one in Hollywood, which is going to be awesome. Really looking forward to it. And then if I can talk this butthole into getting a Universal pass, I'm going to try to take him there. I got the season pass, so I've been like trying to go there every single day off I can find, which is pretty awesome. Kelly says, I'll take some off your hands.
Hey, if you want to pay shipping, I got a box of base with your name on it, brother. Otherwise, the high-end stuff, you got to come correct with those offers.
He said, I've been buying way too much. Dude, that's a common theme, man. Like, oh my God, especially guys that are down. Like, oh, it's so hard not to buy them whenever you know they're just going to shoot right back up as soon as the season starts again.
Remember when everyone said, like when Mahomes prices started dropping mid-season? that was a good time.
So this is a really good question because I'm super high on both of them. I'm probably bigger on Garland than most people. I'm still gonna say it's almost 6 in one hand, half dozen another because Garland has the position that makes more money because big men don't get the kind of respect they deserve. Because look, even if Mobley becomes the guy he's supposed to be, like a Kevin Durant, or not Kevin Durant, but Kevin Garnett or a Chris Bosh, right? Like that's kind of like a lot of his comparisons right now. Look at where their PSA 10 is compared to I don't know, who would Garland be compared to?
Probably a point guard.
Maybe like a Gary Payton or like a Jason Kidd, even
Possibly,
if he gets his top potential. And if you look at their PSA 10s, Garnett's probably still a little bit superior, but not by much. You know what I mean? So it really just depends on how close they kind of get to it because the guards and the wings, they're the guys that make their cards typically are worth more because they score more. You know what I mean? And they're more exciting. They shoot threes, they do all those things. The big man doesn't really get the love, although Mobley has the ability to be a generational talent. Like right off the bat, he's better than I thought he was. And normally I don't say that about Cavaliers because I always think they're really good even when they suck. Sorry, Dylan Windler.
Well, you missed one big comp for Mobley, though, and that's Anthony Davis. At one point, his cards were
that's true,
pretty high end. And I mean, if I look at Garland, to me, the comparison card-wise that is going to be his ceiling is probably Chris Paul. Think about it. Chris Paul's top 10 point guard all time. I mean, I think we could all agree on that, but his stuff is not that high.
Yeah.
So to me, if Mobley can hit like, let's say 35, 36% from distance, puts that more in his game, I think Mobley probably would be the better long term. And let's be honest, his stuff is so high right now too.
This is a good one for you, Mark. DJ says, anyone making any baseball plays or not? Because there may be a lockout.
You know what? I bought a few things here and there. I've actually bought a lot of the Mosaic product this year just because I like the Mosaic. Unlicensed really isn't like typically what I go for, but I like the product. You can never go wrong with the Topps Chrome products either. And I think to me, it's just dependent on the individual player. Like right now, Acuna is pretty low comparatively. But if you can grab the Tatis at a value, if you can grab the Sotos at value, if you can grab, any of that, you can't go wrong.
For sure. You picked up any baseball, Paul?
No, I've been kind of waiting to see what the lockout does. Because I don't know. I think there's not a good indicator that things aren't going well. Is ESPN announced that they're going to increase their viewership or increase their broadcast of college baseball. So that's kind of telling me that even some people there might not think that they're going to play baseball this year. So, I mean, that's kind of a key indicator that they might not even play. If ESPN has said that they're going to broadcast more NCAA baseball.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, honestly, if they don't, that would be a buying opportunity for anybody who believes in the baseball market long term. Which honestly, consistency-wise, like over the years, baseball has been kind of like the steady eddy of collecting. So, I mean, if you're a baseball guy, this might be your time.
Yeah. The trick with collecting with baseball, to me, it's a little bit different than the other sports. There's more value in vintage than there is in modern when it comes to baseball. And it's quite the opposite, in my experience, quite the opposite for basketball and football. The modern is more collectible and it has more value than some of the vintage stuff. And I'm talking like, when I say vintage, I don't mean like, pre-70s. I mean like the 70s, 80s, 90s. People really don't collect all that much when it comes to basketball and football. Get into 2000s, and that's where people hit basketball pretty hard. It's quite the opposite in baseball. People are going after some of the more vintage stuff. You could sell a Derek Jeter just as quickly as you could sell a Tatis right now. So, it's for baseball, to me, the vintage is the better, more safe, if you want to call it safe buy.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, vintage is, and then the other thing with vintage is baseball had more of a stranglehold back then too, because they were printing longer too. So, by the time some of the other sets started printing, like what was basketball? Was it like the 60s? or no, it was late 50s they started printing basketball, something like that. And baseball was like there's 1800s cards, you know what I mean? Like tobacco era stuff. It's just super old. Chris makes a good point though. Like both of them are good investments, especially if you were buying like Garland whenever the hype was really, really low, whenever he was like off in and out injured and stuff like that, buying him off of potential, you know, because I mean, for a while there, it really looked like Sexton, you know, was going to be the guy, like to the hobby at least, you know, like, which is why I was able to get $300 for a PSA 10 base Colin Sexton last year, you know what I mean? Which I ended up rebuying a red, white, and blue, which is like kind of an upgrade and for considerably less. So like even that's one thing I was actually talking about this week too, is even with cards that are PC, like guys like Okoro, like I don't want to get rid of them, but if there's an opportunity like with that Colin Sexton where, man, the PSA 10 is at like top dollar and I can move that and then just rebuy something like later on, like in the off season or when that player's hurt or when something like that happens, like I'm totally not against that if I can upgrade my collection doing it. DJ's in the house. Good to see you, brother. I said only one box of base. Got to get those numbers up.
It's a 4-row box, though, in my defense.
Touche. Yeah. That is a 4-row box of base. We actually have a ton. We are getting ready to, me and Alan actually in the corner of the room have a box full of just base cards. I mean, there's inserts and stuff too, but like nothing like super sexy unless like we missed it. But just like stuff we ripped and like really don't want to mess with. We're just going to donate to some kids at the Children's Hospital, I think.
Yeah.
So if anybody ever wants to contribute to that kind of stuff, let us know because we already kind of got a little collection piled up for the kids. Scooping every Jalen Hurts I can. Dude's going to be ball. Yeah, dude, honestly, I could totally see that. I just picked up a Jalen Hurts rated rookie off of Marty yesterday to grade for myself. One thing that I've lacked this last year or so is I've been so heavy after my PC, which is great because I love every single thing I'm buying. But a lot of the investable players, I haven't really picked up a lot of their stuff. So me and Marty did a big trade this week where I traded him some wax. I think it was 3 boxes of Mosaic and then 3 boxes of Chronicles. And then I got a bunch of like rated rookie stuff from him, like all of the young quarterbacks, you know, basically that were just recently drafted this past year, the better receivers, Pitts, like that kind of stuff. And I'm going to start tucking some of that stuff away just to kind of have those investment plays for when they pop, because how many people that were collecting in 2017 are kicking themselves for not having Patrick Mahomes right now? So if that's going to happen, I at least want to have like one card of the next Patrick Mahomes or the next whoever.
I think taking a risk, especially as low as priced as Hurts is right now.
Oh yeah.
Like, especially if you're going to go for any young player in the league, go for a quarterback. I got to tell you, I've been buying up a little bit of Danny Dimes recently. It's not that I think he's anything special. I think he's a lot better than kind of the situation he's been placed in, but it's a risk nonetheless. And to answer this question right here, you take a combination of Mobley and Sexton, and you have Mo Sex.
Ooh. And I don't know anybody that's ever complained about Mo Sex.
Find me one.
That would be pretty awesome, though. Yeah, that was a nice one. I keep forgetting that this is not a touch screen. Baseball seems low on eBay. Been going a little crazy. Dude, you know what's really low-key low on eBay? And I'm going to tell you this, which I probably shouldn't because, number one, don't tell them.
Oh, that's our money.
I know, that is seriously what we're –
DM us after the show. Maybe we'll drop some knowledge.
Okay. Yeah, because me and Marty are low-key, like, buying stuff for, like,
dirty mouth.
Yeah.
Take that away from me.
Yes, shoot us a DM. We'll share what we've been buying lately. And, yeah. But, yeah, we've been buying a lot of them lately. DM us, so that way, like, the whole world doesn't know, but it's like you will. Jim, you are very welcome, my man. Anybody that ever has questions, feel free to ask. That's what we're here for. Gate City. Yeah, that is Gate City Paul. He's the man.
He is now known as Fade City Paul.
Fade City.
Woo!
The king of Fade City, baby.
Hey, thank you, Art. I appreciate that. And you know what? In fact, I was so on point that Alan put a ring on it for me.
He was.
Me
right.
and Marty were battling
That
out
was
for this in the
before
Super
game.
Bowl.
That was before the game.
That was before the game too.
Before the game.
Me and Marty were battling. Technically, we tied because really, like, we both picked the same stuff like pretty much the whole way through. He even like was low key wanting the Rams to win too. So
Stafford and Donald, I like them both.
So yeah, we can share the ring of destiny till next season when one of us must take the throne of grace. But really, I have you to thank for this, Paul. I'm just kidding.
It's like that half kidding. We kind of mean it though. I'm like, nothing personal, dude.
But yeah, I mean, I was only half right on the Super Bowl too because I picked the Chiefs to be there with the Rams, and then Marty picked the Bengals to be there with the Bucks, I think.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I thought Brady was a safe bet, but then I realized Antonio Brown's a moron and Godwin's out.
We lost only one pick the entire year, and it was because I went against Tally's Niners.
And I went with Paul.
The Bang Bang Niner gang showed up and regulated on me. Yeah, and then you lost for fading Paul.
Yeah, I went with Paul.
See, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go with my man Paul. I believe in him. And that's how me and Marty got the 1-game lead on you.
Great decision.
Because we know talent when we see it.
Yeah, I messed that up.
And there's a ton of talent over in the Gate City.
Correct.
I agree, Jim. He says it's tough to collect baseball prospects 3 or more year hold until they hit MLB scene, frees up the funds. Yeah, absolutely.
The baseball is tough like that when the prospects come out because the way they do their draft. So they can draft you in high school, and then you can still go to college. And as long as you play so many games at college, you can re-back enter into the draft. It's really strange how their draft works. But then you get drafted to a team, and then you got to play up and down their system. Then if you get drafted to a team that already has a good player in that position, you're looking at between 3 and 4 years before you ever step on a pro field. I mean, Jason Dominguez is one of the big examples. One of the best prospects come out. I don't think he's played a game yet, but everybody's buying Jason Dominguez. So, I mean, that's just one of them. One example.
Or my advice for prospecting and making the most money, you could send them to PSA because by the time they make the big leagues, your submission will be back. Speaking of the next question, did I ever get my year-old PSA subs back? No, I have not yet because they are still dragging their feet.
Turnaround times.
Anthony is sad.
Those Sekou Demboyas, they are ready to come back.
Oh my God. I've been seeing Sekou sell on eBay, like literally PSA 10s for like $1, $2. Like
Sekou Demboyas.
It's so bad. Like, it's so bad. Like, you know how sick it makes me that I literally spent money on grading that?
Yeah, that hurts.
When something takes so long that a player is like a full-blown bust by the time your cards come back.
But he's a hometown player for you now. He's on the Lakers.
He is on the Lakers, but I'm a Cleveland guy.
That was your fault.
Well, for basketball, everything else.
But I don't think he's played. I don't think he's played a minute yet. So
yes, he has.
Got literally one of the sweetest people in the world. Just me, Kathy, in the house. Really appreciate you being here, Kathy. It's always a great honor and privilege whenever I see you in chat. Sorry, guys. I'm like behind in the chat. I want to make sure I don't miss none of your questions. Big Trev is going hard on Tua. I don't blame him, man. The Tua is super down right now. So if you believe he can turn it around, like his stuff is like compared to where he was. Like I look at Trevor Lawrence right now, and Marty's been buying a ton of T-Law because he's down. Like he was literally like where Mac Jones is right now. Trevor Lawrence was there a few months ago. You know what I mean? So like if you believe Trevor Lawrence can get back to that position or exceed that position, buying it right now is not a bad idea. So if you believe in Tua, you know, or if you just like Tua, like I buy Isaac Okoro's and like honestly, like I believe in him, but I mean, I personally don't know that he's going to become like the next big thing, but I like him. You know what I mean? So if he just likes Tua, then there's no problem with that either. But he says DM is inbound. Good stuff. Yep, I got a ring. It was amazing.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Alan. It was so romantic of you. You should have seen him get down on one knee and everything. He was like, I bestow you.
You were down on me receiving it.
Thought we weren't going to talk about that on air, Alan.
Oh shit.
So Art says, what's your prediction for next year if you had to choose right now teams? Well, see, that's the tough part. So one thing we were going to talk about is like predicting kind of quarterback movement this offseason, because let's be real, there's going to be a drastic improvement from the Steelers if they trot out with Aaron Rodgers week 1 as opposed to Mason Rudolph or something like that. So
I believe that.
yeah, I mean, Mason Rudolph is kind of the GOAT.
Yeah.
But
Top 5 that ever left.
yeah, he really is top 5 worst quarterbacks I've ever seen play for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
But you saw the news, was it yesterday or today, that Green Bay has said they are all in on Aaron Rodgers. They're going to do everything they can to keep him. I still think
if Rodgers forces his way out, it's going to happen.
Here's the thing.
I still think he goes. They could roll out the red carpet for that man. I still think he's leaving.
If they can turn back the clocks to 2020 and, I don't know, not draft Jordan Love.
And draft an offensive lineman that helps him out.
They could have traded up a few picks and grabbed Justin Jefferson.
That guy is pretty good, right?
Yeah,
he's a decent.
That solves every one of their problems.
So him on the other side of Devontae Adams, that wouldn't be a good receiving core, would it?
No,
that would be
pretty
sucky.
garbage.
Yeah.
Well, I think if they didn't trade up at all, they still could have got somebody at where they were at.
100%.
Yeah, because listen, they're not. That's the part that doesn't make sense. Is Jordan Love's contract? They're not going to pay that kid that much money to sit on the bench. They're paying that kid a lot of money to sit there, and so that's the part that doesn't make sense to me. And so for them to say, yeah, we're going to go all in to do what we can to keep Aaron Rodgers, you should have done that 2 years ago. Sorry, I think he's done.
Too little, too late.
I mean, honestly, like this is what they did whenever they had Rodgers too. Like basically, Jordan Love is just the new Rodgers. But I think what they would have to do if they are going to go all in on Rodgers, they probably got to trade Love. You know what I mean? Like New England did with Jimmy G back in the day. Like even Belichick was like, "Hey, I want the younger guy," and Brady's like, "Hey, I'm gone if you don't get rid of this dude." Right. So
it's literally
like a possible thing too. So I think the Bengals got exposed in the 1 week area that they were offensive linemen. If they make a move to shore up their offensive line, I think they make a deep. I think they go back to the Super Bowl next year. I mean, it just looks like they need just a 1 or 2 offensive linemen. They're pretty strong on defense, except they're at the end. But I think if they get an offensive line, some help support there, I think they go back to the Super Bowl.
I think we're going to be dealing with one pissed off Pat Mahomes next year. Mm-hmm. And as such, I think that he's finally going to realize that, hey, he's heard for so long, oh, you're the best thing in the league, this, that. I think that right now he got humbled a little bit this playoff, through the playoffs this year.
Mm-hmm.
The Burrow amount of comeback they did, the not score, to score what they did in the second half. Like, I just think that that team is too talented, and honestly, I think they're going to grab a number 2 receiver this offseason.
Yeah, well, I think along the same lines, I think Josh Allen's going to come back. I think he really now has something to prove. He's going to be pissed off and has something to prove.
That receiving core too, like Gabe Davis is emerging, man. Like he's had multiple big games, like he just had in the playoffs as well. So, question from Art. He says, "Who's our Super Bowl picks for next year? If you had to pick like 2 teams, like one NFC, one AFC." It's hard for me because I just don't know where the QBs are going.
Yeah,
because if Rodgers goes to the right place, that's a Super Bowl. Like if he's in Pittsburgh and he's how he played this past year, we'll win the Super Bowl. So like it's so hard to pick against Pat Mahomes though at the same point.
It's such a sleeper pick. Like I'm off camera, but the Tennessee Titans were like left for dead when Derrick Henry got injured. AJ Brown was hurt half the year, and then they came back. And they were one Tannehill bonehead play away from making it past the Bengals. That pick that he threw was everything. But if you replace him with a Deshaun Watson, a Russell Wilson, a Aaron Rodgers, anybody of caliber, that team is a Super Bowl team.
You could say that about another team in their division with the Colts.
Right. But think about that quarterback play. If you put Aaron Rodgers with Derrick Henry,
truth.
You're yeah. Exactly. He's never had a running back like that ever in his career. Is he just flicking me off already? But all they need is like a decent AJ Brown, get a solid number 2 in there. It could be like the dinkiest number 2 guy ever in life. Doesn't matter.
Well, I mean, they have Julio, but he definitely underperformed.
No, but think if they
Yeah,
had
you gotta
a
wonder if
decent
Julio has
quarterback,
anything left
any
at
kind
this
of
point.
decent quarterback there. Russell, Rodgers,
I think Tandy is a
Watson,
decent quarterback.
Garoppolo's.
I mean, he's a
Garoppolo.
Trent Dilfer.
I was literally going to say he's like a Trent Dilfer.
Right.
I was literally that's the perfect analogy. But Trent Dilfer's won a Super Bowl.
Right.
So
with an all-time defense, though.
true,
I mean,
that is
and
true.
trust me, that kills me to say that's a real kick in the pills, dude. Because screw the Ravens. No offense to anyone.
And no, if you're a Ravens fan, you're a Tycon fan.
But you forget.
I'm just kidding.
But we forget. Derrick Henry was still second in the league in rushing by week 9, and he was, or week 10, or whatever it was, and he was injured for 4 games.
We have a question from the
Right?
chat for you,
We
Alan.
have a question for you on the
Oh
chat.
no, you don't want it.
No, it's
It's
a
a very
it's a
important,
serious
serious
question, dude. Like
What's the
the
question?
the future of this company relies on this question.
Oh no.
DJS would like to know: can you ask Alan if it's clean?
It's Clay.
What's registered to be clean?
Pretty much everything. Our company.
It's
our lives.
clean. Real clean.
Yeah, it's
That's good
the
stuff.
cleanest he's ever seen. It's
It
confirmed.
is the cleanest I've ever seen.
Cleanliness
It's minty fresh.
confirmed.
It was minty and it
It-
was fresh,
Yes.
just like Crest.
Mm.
Plug to Crest.
Tally, he just savage against Paul.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he said
He
Paul
cost
just
him a lot
ended
of
all
money,
those
I know.
just that- Did you just Dan Marino pour Joe Burrow?
Sally.
Oh, that's good.
We gotta love.
Now he's gonna be like real life Macaulay Culkin and like
Right.
basically go
Oh!
hard times.
Sally. Remember our motto: fade, pull.
I did not know you were from LA.
Which one?
No, I think it's over by the bridge.
No, I won. Jesse.
So you are a Packers fan at heart. Packers are an awesome franchise. Like they're
We'll take your quarterback though. Thank you.
yes, I would very much like your quarterback. And you know what? Honestly, I want Paul's quarterback too. Joel says Wentz is gone, most likely. Says probably Jimmy G to Indy. I would be happy with Jimmy G in Pittsburgh, but honestly, I would be much happier with Paul's quarterback. Derek Carr would be a nice fit for us. there.
The Wentz thing doesn't make sense because, I mean, look at his numbers this year. He had a pretty decent season. He fell off towards the end, but he had he kind of kept them alive for a while. So them moving away from him so quickly, that doesn't really make sense to me. But
I can tell you, Paul, I had Michael Pittman Jr. in my main fantasy league, right? And I remember so many times where it gets to halftime, I'm like, holy crap, this dude doesn't even have 100 yards passing. What the hell is going on?
Well,
Like, honestly, I would put him under middle of the pack. I absolutely would. And with that contract, if you can get out of it, I don't think it's a bad
the
thing.
contract might be the deal. Yeah, the contract might be the issue there.
So I will tell you, though, I from what I've read, Oakland's like pretty committed to Carr at this point. Or Vegas, I'm sorry. But I would have loved to have seen Derek Carr at Blackpool.
$40 million to Carr. Committed.
No, they offered him $40 million.
That's what his extension is going to be. $40
Dang,
million.
$40 million. That's a lot of money. Not confirmed yet, Kathy, if he's leaving or not, but it's speculated that he's probably
Odell
leaving.
Terrell.
DJ said, any
Yeah.
chance of a live stream of The Office with us slabbing cards on the machine? Finds it soothing to listen while the Office streams whenever he's working. Yeah, I mean, I would imagine we'll probably be doing a lot of that stuff. I literally was trying to get Alan to give me the footage even to the security cams and stuff like that so I could stream them, but I don't know if I'm allowed. That could be a conflict of interest because, no, me, I'll just show you guys stuff I'm not supposed to. But, yeah, that's definitely something we plan to do more. We'll probably try to put out like a weekly or bi-weekly vlog of just like the work we're doing here and like anything cool that happens. The problem is like we're like halfway through doing cool stuff and I think, oh, I should have filmed that, or or I should have went live, or I should have done X, Y, Z, and it's like already like lost its guts. So, and I don't want to go like live and fake something.
No.
So
let's be honest, we're a little busy around here too. So once we can kind of get everything a little bit more under control, I think we'll be in good shape for that.
Yeah, for sure. So Jim says, I think there's a better chance of the Steelers rolling out Stafford than Rodgers. I would be a big fan of that.
Yeah.
Allen would try that.
The Rams are $8 million over the cap.
That's what though. I mean, there's creative. I'm sure there's enough way they could be creative with numbers. Like they somehow managed to add Von Miller and OBJ midseason.
But here's the deal. You know who their free agents are? Beckham, Von Miller, and that other cornerback that just that got hurt in the first quarter. Yeah, those are three of their free agents. There's four other ones, but those are their top three free agents that are gone already this year. So
I don't think Vaughn comes back, but who's to say that? Like, I don't think that everyone's going to come back, but I think it's completely realistic to say that there's a good chance that they can swing some more of those type of moves and just keep kicking the draft picks down the road for a few years.
Yeah, they have no draft picks either this year. They don't have any number ones.
They don't.
Yeah.
I mean, I would be okay with Matthew Stafford coming to the City of Steel, though.
Not going to happen.
I'd be a fan.
No, not going to happen.
Allen doesn't want to give him up. Allen's been a Detroit Lions fan for the entirety of Stafford's career up until this year when he came to LA. Now he's a Rams fan.
Well, I only follow Matt Stafford. It's like LeBron.
Yeah.
Well, you guys saw the new banner that the Lions hung in their stadium today, right?
Yeah, I did. That was amazing.
Since our old quarterback won the Super Bowl.
Right.
That's good.
I've heard all the jokes too about the neutral site.
Chris is saying, do you think Kyler will be back to Arizona next year? I do, just because, dude, honestly, like a guy like that comes along, like you do it, you have to get him to stay.
They've already said that they're going to work through the issues.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I would love to see him traded to the Steelers. I mean, I'm a little biased in that, though. Yeah, I agree. Rams do have some serious cap issues. Got Huddle Card Collection in the house. What is up, Mike and Michael? You guys haven't followed them. Check those guys out. Awesome dudes. Also, Mike is one of our graders, so really knowledgeable dude. Be surprised if come June Brady says he is coming back. So you think he's going to have the Brett Favre jitters where he like wants to retire but then comes back like towards the end of training camp type thing? I could see that too. I mean, because honestly, like if I'm Tom Brady and I'm like old as heck and I'm sore, and I'm like the GOAT, like we're literally like sit on a couch and still be better than you. Like I probably would do that too. But I don't know if he will though, man. Like I don't know.
I look at some of the stuff that he's into now, like some of the foundations and the side stuff that he's building, some of the endorsements that he has. Could it happen? Yeah, maybe, but I think it's highly. I don't think it's very likely.
I don't think Gisele's going to let him.
Okay, yeah, this is a really good question here. Going back to second QBs, like Love, which teams would be better off getting these kids to play in the USFL rather than sit on the bench all season?
Can't risk that injury.
Money.
So
Can't do it.
Money.
It's such a violent sport is the problem because like in soccer, for example, or even baseball, like people are playing, like players are playing in preparation so that they do get better. You know what I mean? And they'll actually send them to minor league teams or to like transfer to like a different country so that they can get X amount of experience. So like I see the value in that, but I think with football being so violent, literally you're one hit away from never playing again. That's the main issue with that.
You're gonna lose out. You're gonna lose out on a lot of money by doing that. And I see some of those second string guys or anything like that, like who already got good contracts or decent contracts, not gonna risk it.
I don't hate that idea.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I would take him over Rudolph or Haskins, man.
Yep. I mean, honestly, when it comes down to it, we cannot trot out a quarterback for the beginning of the season that is on our roster today.
Yeah,
at least as a starter.
It amazes me. I feel like Tomlin and the Steelers staff really wants to give Rudolph a chance, and I kind of vomited my mouth with that idea, if I'm going to be honest.
Well, I mean, here's the thing: give him a chance, but bring in somebody to compete, like a legitimate quarterback to compete, like whether that's like a Jimmy Garoppolo or even a Gardner Minshew. Like, show us that you're committed to bringing in competition because Haskins isn't the competition. No. Duck.
Well, what if Wentz leaves the Colts? I mean, it's not a bad choice up there too.
Don't hate the idea, but I don't know. It was his Super Bowl year where he was literally, obviously he got hurt before the game, but he was playing at an MVP level before that injury.
Yeah.
Like, was that the fluke, or is it just he's, kind of had a rough run of it the last year and a half, 2 years?
The Breaks is in the house. He's got a dark horse for us. Let's hear it, my man. I'm all about them dark horses. Just like you were.
Cordell Stewart's going to come out of retirement and leave the Steelers to the Super Bowl. That's it.
I would pop so hard if that happens.
Vinny Testaverde.
Vinny Testies, yes.
Should we get into some of the pickups?
Yeah. Why don't you show them some of the stuff that you grabbed recently, man?
All right. It's not a whole lot this week. It's just some fun stuff. So the first thing is I finally finished putting together my Net Marvels 20-card set from this year's Donruss. So very excited about that. Can't wait to get that in a slab. Next up is a little sentimental thing from my childhood. I don't know if you guys were American Gladiators fans back in the day, but I picked up my boy Laser's autograph, a.k.a. Jim Starr.
I think there's going to be an ESPN documentary about the Gladiator show.
That's awesome. I hope there is. So that way
I saw an advertisement for that.
Cool. And last, but certainly not least, Bruce Jenner autograph. Well, Caitlyn, I apologize. It's a Bruce Jenner card, but a Caitlyn autograph.
Okay, then.
Pretty hot.
I'll be pulling out all the Cavs.
Just pulling out the new ones I got.
Okay.
Which is like almost this whole box.
There will be plenty more this coming week once the mail comes. And also there is a card show on Saturday, so I'd have to imagine I'm going to do a little bit of damage. But if you all have and or are looking to sell or trade, I am looking for a Pat McAfee autograph. So be on the lookout. Anyone with a Pat McAfee autograph, I will trade you handsomely for it.
Pat
or
McAfee.
buy it.
Punter for the Colts, right?
Yes.
Also, really awesome podcaster.
Correct.
Yeah.
Handsome guy.
He is. He's the man.
You know the best part about him?
He's from the city.
The city of steel. He really is, too.
It's a great intro.
So this past week, did you show all the stuff you were going to show?
Yeah.
So Trask, dude, I could see that, dude. Tom Brady to the Berg. I hate Tom Brady, but I'll take him.
I would like Tom Brady if he wins me a ring.
I would too. I would buy his rookie card if he comes and wins us a ring.
Correct.
Picks up another 1/1 Rod Carew. That is
Nice.
awesome, dude. Yeah, but I hope Trask does take off. So I'm gonna show you a few things that I've just been. Should I not show off all of these?
Yeah, just pick a couple.
All right. That'd be too obvious.
Correct.
Marty can show off mine.
Yes, I'll show off some cards for the hot-handed one.
You already know what
I'll just show you some of the investable ones I picked up. Just because this stuff was
It's
like
almost there.
literally dirt cheap, I picked it up. We had a 9.5 LaMelo Ball from CSG. I got a Joe Burrow Mint 9 CSG Optic. Got that for like nothing. And Anthony Edwards Mint 9 Hoops. Trey Young rated rookie Donruss. And a Herbie Optic 9. Those are some of my recent pickups. I also picked up a bunch of other stuff too, but those are just some of the slabs. I got some nice raw stuff. I got some autos. Just because I don't know where my raw stuff is right now, I'm not going to dig for it, but your boy got a pair of Dwayne The Rock Johnson's jeans on the card, which is pretty cool. The only issue is I might have to give it to my mom because that's her boyfriend. So if she had something that had a piece of article clothing that Britt Baker wore, I would expect her to give that.
Yeah, I'd be disappointed in her if she didn't.
Yeah, because Britt doesn't know it yet, but one day, Pittsburgh, she's going to marry Picksburgh, and it's going to become a thing.
Real quick, I got Alan, my man Hot Hands pickups of the week. He finally completed the set. It's not all here, but we got the O, the N, the C,
The Husher.
and the C.
Always
So-
is the DI with the C and the O.
He's getting some D this week, and the I's coming in too.
Yep.
Yep.
The only I that I found on eBay was all the way over in London.
Yeah, he
London.
from
From
London,
London.
England.
To complete this spellbound set.
Respect.
Did you send your eye to finishing school or refining school, whatever they do with the nice little ladies over there?
Sure.
No,
to
Anderson
Propa
Vergel.
Propa
Yeah, I did
school?
pick up some Vergel too. I'm not gonna lie. I always pick up Vergel, but he's in with all the raw stuff that's just kind of like floating around, for lack of a better term. But yeah, been picking up a lot of slabs lately, guys. A lot of value slabs. You know, just stuff that I feel like just by looking at the pictures that are undergraded. And that's good arbitrage for a lot of you guys, like, because a lot of times you just put in like, hey, grade, whatever grade, you know what I mean? But a lot of times there could be inaccuracies or something like that. So one thing I like to do is target stuff that I feel like is better conditioned than what the grade says. But I mean, sometimes you're wrong with that too. So you just got to be real careful, really look things over nicely.
I got a few things to show. Nothing special.
Are they fadable?
Oh, you went to finishing school? That's awesome. Yeah. Oh, dude, my bad, Paul.
Did you get a fadable class?
I got I went value shopping in my own boxes of stuff I pulled out and just throw in boxes until later. I found a 2019 Select hardened courtside prism silver just sitting in a box that I'd thrown to the side. I did find an Illusions Kyle Trask, and then I did get a few fat packs of hoops from Target, and ended up with a teal LaMelo.
Nice.
So, and of course, with the hoops, I got a bunch of Cade Cunninghams and things like that. So,
Is teal or
Nice.
aqua?
That's awesome,
Nice.
dude. Marty just put in a really nice Cade Cunningham card today. It was a
It's a
relic.
patch, relic, numbered out of 90.
Yeah, it's from the Chronicles draft.
Tastes like chronic.
Yeah, he went back to Pittsburgh. He got to go to all of our favorite card shops and Bargain
I
Bin
did.
Dive and Rip Cards and all
Yeah.
that fun jazz.
I think they missed me. It was probably a long month for them without me.
Do you think any of the card shops were struggling to feed their kids with you being out of
Could have
Pittsburgh?
happened, man. They got used to a standard of living, and then I
Oh my god! Could you imagine that? Like, it would be like taking like hardcore drugs away from somebody like cold turkey, like no longer having your supply of card money.
It's come to that,
Yeah, I know it is pretty bad, huh?
Yeah, a little bit.
Little pieces of cardboard. Who would have known they are so addictive?
They call it cardboard crack for a reason.
It really is cardboard crack. So Art says he might have a McAfee on football autograph.
That would, if you're looking to get rid of that art, please make me your first
from a
call.
pit game. That's pretty dope.
That's sick.
That's a good
Chris
one.
got a few Hoops blaster boxes. Can't wait to get those new slam inserts. I love the slam inserts.
yeah, the slam that slam stuff is really, really nice.
I got a question for Thrifties.
Thanks, thanks, Kathy. I really appreciate that. I love you too.
Question for Thrifties.
Yeah.
Is he willing to part with that Luca freshman phenoms card that I just scanned in? Just a question.
This man,
Chris, I just scanned in a Luca freshman phenoms card. I noticed that you wanted to donate that to the Hot Hands cause. You let me know.
His Luca addiction.
yeah, he does have a hardcore addiction to Slovenian boys.
There is something.
He has quite a few collectible
Hey,
pictures.
Alan, do you have this year's hoops Luca Slam yet?
Nope, not yet.
You do now. I'm going to put it in your
Would
box,
be a good
Thank
channel name.
you.
dude. Let me
You
see where I
that
got.
cardboard? That should be a channel name.
Yeah, it's
Appreciate it.
awesome.
Dude,
I like it.
welcome to Marty's new YouTube channel and OnlyFans page.
Yeah,
Cardboard
oh,
Crack.
that's my new OnlyFans name. Yes.
There you go, Alan.
That's sick,
Oh,
dude.
look what Paul
Paul's
has
hooking
here,
you
Alan.
up.
Oh, let me see.
Brand new one.
Oh, yes. Hello.
Going into your box, buddy.
I will.
You know what I say?
Actually staring at my box right now.
That's
That is
fine.
clean.
It's quiet.
Cleanest I've ever seen.
Chris said he's willing to move it.
Nice.
Right.
He would be willing. He also likes the Raptors. So come, dude. You got that Vince Carter, don't you?
I know,
That real nice one.
I'm looking for it. I'm looking for it right now.
He wants to get a Klay Thompson slam. So if you have one of those,
I don't know if I have that.
yeah, I apologize.
I got a bunch of the slams. Let me see what I got.
It's nothing risque. It's just me and a whole bunch of cards.
Yeah, he just happens to cardboard candy. That's not bad too.
I like it.
And does Chris mean this one?
Let me look that up for you, Mike.
Chris, we need your thoughts. I think Alan
He's hooking you up.
yeah, he's gonna hook you up. So we're showing you this. That card is sick.
It's numbered.
Yeah,
It's numbered out of 150.
to Vince Carter auto patch.
That's nasty.
Numbered out of 150.
That's pretty good.
We'll see what we can do.
Yes, sir.
Chris might like that Carter guy. I mean, he
Barely.
played for the Raptors, right? Was he any good?
It's like Raptors card, guys.
That guy like literally changed the game when he came in the league. Oh, I'm going to eBay. That's right.
What are you doing?
You know, Michael, by you telling me to go on eBay and look this item number up, you are actively fueling my addiction to go back onto eBay and buy stuff I don't need. But I'm guessing this will probably be something Verjao related.
I thought you were going to join me in
is-
solidarity and not go on eBay.
Dude, you've been on eBay all day.
I didn't buy anything.
But I've been hearing the
You guys
alerts,
been
man,
on eBay.
and it triggers me every time.
Do you think that eBay's thinking about me too?
Yeah, they're sending you alerts. Like, dude, like if this guy doesn't start buying, we're not going to be able to afford. Like,
Our service
Yeah,
anymore.
go back to the switch. You just-
The question is,
Oh, yeah,
what is
sorry.
everyone buying?
Chris, I thought I had a I thought I had a
Oh,
Clay slam. I don't. I got a Curry slam.
well, it's only $5.89.
The question
Legacy.
is, what are we buying?
Look at that.
I know
Ooh.
what we're buying. Soccer.
See, the worst mistake the Orlando Magic ever made was giving up this
Anderson Ferrer.
majestic Brazilian man.
It wasn't not making Shaq and Penny work.
You were hanging out with Brazilians on football.
I
weekend.
was.
You were.
This
You
gentleman
were.
right here
You were.
brought me to a Brazilian Super Bowl party.
Yeah.
And it was fun.
Yeah.
We had a good time.
Ribs, homemade ribs, the homemade steak.
Oh
the
my
sausage,
god, yeah,
the
they
freaking
had all
cake,
kinds of like really good.
drinks, whatever you wanted.
Yeah, it was bomb.
there.
It was bomb.
Yeah.
Anytime there's like cooked animals and
Cooked animals.
football, I am all about hanging out with whomever is present.
I could give Chris a very nice Juan Nacho Hernan-Gomez out of 45
Everybody
goals.
is looking
I
for
really
Juan
want it.
Hernan
Fucking-
Gomez.
Look at this. Come on, dude. Who doesn't want the Juan Nacho Hernan-Gomez?
He definitely is one of
He's elevated everyone's status.
the guys people are clamoring for.
That's
And
what I
and you know what? You know what's really bad, guys?
I have it.
So I clicked on this to look up that thing that Michael sent. And look, I'm already looking at Isaac Okoro's. Like, I'm live streaming right now. And I'm already looking at Isaac Okoro. Oh, look at that. He says redheads are desirable in Brazil. Watch out. I mean, I'm not really a redhead. I mean, I'm kind of a bald head, really, for being real. But I kind of have like, well, do I have red hair? I mean, is it
Meh.
more brown?
Meh.
But I do have an
Yeah, I was
orange.
gonna say
I do
brown
have an
with a
orange
ginger
goatee.
beard.
Yeah, I definitely have a ginger beard. I'm like one of the few,
I'm gingerific.
gingerific people in my families.
I'm gingerific.
But I don't think like if like a real ginger was here, they'd be like, "Fool, you ain't no ginger. Look at you with your brown
I beg
bald
to
head."
differ. I think if
You know
Ed
what I
Sheeran
mean?
was
Like-
here, he would tell you.
Like, if who was here,
Ed Sheeran was here, he'd tell you.
Ed Sheeran would tell me, wouldn't he? He'd be honest with me, wouldn't he, Paul?
He'd say you're cringe.
I'm cringe. Yeah.
Hey, one thing we didn't talk about. What'd you think of the halftime show?
I loved it. The best part of the halftime show is
Yeah, well,
so
here.
the aforementioned Brazilian party I went to,
Yeah.
the dude literally had a projector to the roof of his like garage
Yep.
that like projected the entire wall. Like probably God, I just picked up a 70-inch TV.
It was a 10
And this
10 by
was
10
probably 5 to 6 of
6 by
my
10.
TVs put together, wall to ceiling TV. So we watched the halftime show on that, and it literally felt like we were standing on stage with them. It was amazing.
It's an 8-foot high by 10-foot wide screen.
Oh my, 8 by 10,
8-foot tall by 10-foot wide.
8 foot tall by 10 foot wide. That's
Wow.
insane.
Yeah. That's almost like sports bar ish type thing.
From the
I
Cali.
thought, you know what, for the hype, it fell short, but for the performance, it was really good. I really liked it. I thought it could be so much more, but I still think, but again, they're only given a short window to kind of fit all that stuff into. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. I did.
I did too. Yeah, Alan's been listening to that literally ever since the Super Bowl. Like, you know, it's funny. We're driving into work yesterday morning. It's like 7:30 in the morning, and our phone rings, and of course it's Alan because when my phone rings, it's typically him. But no offense, I love you dearly. But literally, he became the DJ in our ride to work. It was amazing. It was like literally like every single Dr. Dre, like literally the soundtrack of that Super Bowl was our like commute to work that day.
It was a whole lot of the Chronic 2001.
Yes, it was. And we had the delight of one Alan Bailey serenading us with his lyrical prowess, which was really, really nice. I would imagine, like, if Tupac was still alive, he might be inspired by what Alan Bailey did in that car.
Yeah, and that was the part that I thought that I thought if they somehow could incorporated Tupac into that show, like either like a hologram or like some type of video when they were doing California Love, I thought that would have been really, really cool. But
That would have been awesome.
That's the part I think that they fell off. I think they missed something when they didn't include him somehow.
You know what? That was a pretty classic song. I love it in the sense that Tupac is just straight talking crap and does not care. And he's just straight trying to punk him. But I hate it because Biggie's also my guy too. Because like growing up being morbidly obese, it was really attractive to see a large man that just got the ladies. It was just like the coolest dude in the room. So Biggie's always been my dude on account of the fact that he was morbidly obese and still pulled the ladies pretty on a consistent basis. So that was one of my heroes growing up. But I love Tupac too, though, so I can't say like anything bad about him. You know what's crazy though? He was like championing the West Coast, and he's actually from New York City. Tupac. Did you know that? Well, there's not. Well, yeah, we're going to get ready to wrap up, guys. I appreciate everybody being here this week. Before we go, I want to make sure you guys check out my guy, Gate City Paul, on YouTube and on Instagram as well. And then follow my guy, Chef Marte _cards on Instagram, and my guy, Hot Hands Hashek, who is literally making somebody's labels as we speak. Follow him on Instagram as well as TGT. All that stuff is scrolling below. We appreciate each and every one of you guys being here, and we will see you next time. And a big shout out to my guy, Mark. Wonderful to see you, buddy. I cannot wait to catch up with you soon. But I will see you guys next week. Be on the lookout for a vlog or some kind of card carnage within the next few days to hit the channel. I'm going to really try to get back up to 7 days, but just like the busyness of the office is really hard to do that. But I will definitely get you guys at least 1 to 2 pre-recorded videos a week in addition to this as well, until we can get some kind of normalcy rocking and rolling again around here. But I appreciate y'all. Let me just double check. Appreciate you. See you guys.
Deuces.
Yeah.
From the city